Greetings world. We are Anonymous. Anonymous exposure to Lee County, Florida's police and prosecutorial misconduct now leads the NAACP of Fort Myers, Florida. The NAACP in Fort Myers is a scam. The president, James Muwakil, is a felon and has a violent history. He is a pawn and a tool for this area's chapter and picks and chooses his battles. Muwakil was put in place to run this chapter by former state attorneys Joseph D'Alessandro of the 20th Circuit Courts. This area's chapter is also represented by the Scott Goldberg law firm where D'Alessandro practices. James Muwakil was explained this matter by a citizen of Lee County, Florida that is involved in a massive cover-up. Muwakil invited him to come and speak in July 2016 and asked him to speak first. Lee County, Florida Sheriff Mike Scott's deputies were caught on video entering a man's home with no warrant in retaliation of exposing his illegal practices. A deputy left the scene and came back with a manufactured warrant with Judge Ramiro Manalich of the 20th Circuit Court's name on it. The affidavit was done at a much later time with the wrong information on it, with the date being altered as well. The NAACP immediately motioned to take this case. Once the Scott Goldberg attorney firm seen this information of federal violations of law, James Muwakil stated they cannot take on this case. We should have never had you come out here. Anonymous has discovered that the citizen's attorney the courts appointed as Cedric B. Hall was the former president of this chapter and previously worked in the state attorney's office as a prosecutor. Cedric Hall has done nothing in this citizen's case for 9 months. He will not present the evidence in formal fashion to the corrupt courts of Lee County, Florida due to the collusion by the state attorney Stephen B. Russell on the bogus warrant and unlawful entry. Anonymous highly doubts any judge in the United States is going to backdate an affidavit for a warrant and alter his own date in which he was alleged to have signed. Anonymous calls on the president of the NAACP Cornell William Brooks to stop this activity by Fort Myers, Florida and look into the local corruption in this city. The targeting of minorities is common practice in Lee County, Florida and surrounding areas. It has been confirmed to Anonymous by Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Schwarten of the Nebraska State Patrol and several other sources this matter is being handled by the Department of Justice. The federal investigation has yet to be made public due to the many people involved and the fear of retaliation. All ACLU and NAACP sources will be immediately notified of these ongoing criminal actions in which the local head has conspired to cover up wrongdoings by the local government with people of any color. Cedric Hall's cousin, a former deputy sheriff in the Lee County Jail, testified in federal depositions against other parties that Nick Christie, a 63-year-old man, was murdered in the jail on a trespassing charge at a hotel and was checked into. The sheriff's office in Ohio had informed Lee County that Nick Christie was off of his medication prior to this murder. The Lee County Sheriff's Office paid out $4 million on this case. None of Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott's personnel were even reprimanded. In 2010 it was reported that this sheriff's agency had the highest rate of misconduct of any size in the United States of a department its size. This was ruled a homicide by the coroner's office. The magnitude of Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott's corruption has exposed the NAACP of Fort Myers, Florida by Anonymous from around the world. We are Anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.